Hyperinflation in Malawi. First of all, how did we get here? And then how do we solve it?
Mazinthu zikunkanigwera tsiku ndi tsiku. Koma ndi plani yako ndalama ijapeza kuti yatha, koma plani yako sunayimalizitse.
Now, how did we get here? I think there are many culprits, but the main one is that for 60 years we have been borrowing externally without building something that would be able to pay that debt back. I'll put it to you like this. Imagine I have a car, but it's beat up. And then I come to you, I'm like, man, I need to borrow some money so that I can get my car out of the garage. I'll fix it up. And don't worry, I'll be able to pay you back because once it's fixed, I'll be using it as a taxi, earning income. And then that income I'll use to pay you back. So you're like, okay, I'll give you the money. And then what I do with the money that you lend me is I spend it on food, liquor, looking fly, and then I spend just enough on the car that it's like kind of barely usable on the road, but it's like I'm not using it to pick people up because no one wants to get in it anyway because it's like a beat up hoopty of a car. Now, the longer you take to become productive, the more expensive it becomes because in the meantime, how do you finance your government? You have to continue borrowing. You have to continue importing because you don't produce anything. And also because you're not keeping your promises, your word becomes worth less. And now currency is like a word. Money is your word, your promise. It says so on the money. I promise to pay the bearer on demand. Read it on your currency. So you now end up in a place where your debt is accumulating and your promise is diminishing, and that's what causes hyperinflation. Now, how do you remedy that?
We have looked at essential goods and services. So all traders, we are helping them. We are rationing in terms of allocation of forex through the other instruments of the government, like Reserve Bank, Minister for Finance.
What I would do if I were in charge of the country's finances is I would take a portion of the income that we earn and allocate it to accumulating Bitcoin, which is a deflationary asset, and set up a Bitcoin strategic reserve. From there, I would then get a loan from, say, the African Development Bank, backed by our Bitcoin strategic reserve. I wouldn't sell the Bitcoin, I just get a loan against it, and use the borrowed money to build energy production. So I'd invest in solar technology, invest in hydroelectricity. And what that would do is increase our capacity for production, as well as you could use that to start mining Bitcoin. So what happens there is we have more electricity, which means we can now produce more normal goods and services, but also we are mining a scarce deflationary asset and accumulating something that the rest of the world wants. Then from there, we now have the foundation to invest in education, especially STEM programs, and produce the engineers who will then be able to increase productive capacity once more, whether it's in agriculture or in electricity or IT. You have greater yields from those things because you have greater technical know-how. So you just do that, stay on that path, then you find in 10 years, the country is looking completely different. It's just my 2 cents.